As people grow, they ease into who they are as a person, with life throwing whatever it can at them, whether it be good or bad. As life goes on, this person can be changed by the experiences they've had. Said by Kaguya Shinomiya. I feel like this anime sums these aspects up perfectly. It's a great message for those going through anything right now, or dealing with something very significant at the moment. So, in case you were living under a rock or surprisingly unaware, this show is called Buddy Daddies. This show is exactly what the name entails. This show follows two lovely men who turn out to be assassins. I know, crazy. And their names are Kazuki and Rei, and they are now tasked with the most horrid, absurd, difficult, and most gruesome mission they've ever had to handle. And that being, they have to father a child together. You might be asking yourself, who the hell would be crazy enough to pick up this mission, let alone assign it? Well, it's not exactly what it seems. In a mission that went completely sideways, but also kinda right at the same time. First, they were tasked with killing Miri's father, who is a super crime boss. And this man didn't know Miri was his daughter, so he took her hostage, and with their backs against the wall, they pray that this poor child does not die. And Kazuki remembers Miri asking around for her father. By the way, she doesn't know what he looks like. And with the last option in his mind, he screams out to Miri, saying, "I am your father," and she jumps into his arms, allowing him to shoot and kill her father. So now these two have to balance parenting and assassinating together. But instead of dealing with all that, they say, hey, best option is to give her back to her mother. There's no possible way this could go wrong, because what mother wouldn't want their daughter back? Oh. Well, guess that's not gonna work. Now those two take the initiative to take care of Miri, which sparks up a brand new wave of challenges and experience that Kazuki and Rei get to handle together. Like, who's gonna wear the pants in the relationship? Do the cook? Oh, turns out it's all Kazuki. He does everything, the cooking, the cleaning, literally everything. Well, that was a simple answer. We learn throughout each episode that there is a mysterious backstory behind Kazuki and Rei. Each episode teases something new about their backstory that we never knew before. Each one of them had something terrible happen to them at one point. Kazuki had everything at one point in time. Everything you could ask for. A happy marriage, a child on the way, and a place he could call home. But as an assassin, you can take life away, but you should always expect it to come back and bite you in the ass. Because it can just as easily be taken away from you. Throughout the entire show up until this point, we see Kazuki give part of his earnings to the employer to send to somebody. We question, who is he sending all this money to? But then one day the past comes back to haunt him, and everything comes rushing to the forefront of his brain. All the pain, all the guilt he feels. His sister-in-law shows up, wanting to talk to him, but he runs and runs, getting drunk and never coming home. Then when he goes to see his wife's grave, he meets his sister-in-law again, and then they finally have a chat she's been wanting to have this whole time. We learn that he was part of the reason his wife died, and he holds a huge amount of guilt on himself, feeling like it was all his fault. This guilt has been with him every day since that happened 5 years ago, so he sent the money to his sister-in-law as a way of taking responsibility. It was the only way he could think of to be forgiven for his massive sin that he blames himself for. But in a way, it was for him to hold on to the past, always thinking of his wife, and was too scared to let go of the memories he spent with her. Too scared to change. She looks at him and says, memories aren't a prison, and that your wife would want you to be happy. And these lines perfectly encapsulate Kazuki's current mindset. He created this mental state for himself, a prison he was stuck in, constantly not allowing himself to move on, until he realized that Miri was part of the key to freeing himself from this mindset. She was the second chance. She allowed him to be what he truly always wanted to be, a father, and she gave him what he always wanted to have again, a family. For Rei, he was built to be the ultimate killing machine. He is quite a contrast to Kazuki. Everything, the design of these two, the personality, and the moments that changed him forever. We see Rei changing throughout the story. He's usually someone pulled on the strings by his father to get the job done and kill efficiently. This is not Minecraft, Austin. We see through flashbacks that he was mistreated by his father, really teaching us how not to raise a kid. Like, give that man a Father of the Year trophy right next to Endeavor because you couldn't ask for better parents if we're being honest. But when his father tells him to kill both Miri and Kazuki because of the attachments, that's when he's had enough. He finally has the strength to stand against his father, against his wishes, for the first time ever. Because now he has something worth fighting for Miri, for his family, something that he's never truly had before. He's finally loved and treated equally, and whether Kazuki wants to admit it or not, he gives a shit about Rei. And Miri has shown over the series how much that she really cares for Rei and Kazuki. So now they're one happy family together. Not only did these two change, but also her mother changed. As you saw, she was disgusted with Mitty and wanted nothing to do with her. But after she got throat cancer and she got fired from her job, now she wanted to change for Mitty. But as she took Mitty away from our boys, the life she wanted to give to Mitty to be a happy family was now a memory, because due to an assassin sent to kill Mitty and Kazuki after Ray declined of killing them, because obviously he's not going to kill them because he loves them, but she got caught in the crossfire and she died protecting her daughter, changing into the mother she truly wanted to be. But all of this ties back into what I said in the beginning. We can dwell in the past, but we must always be reminded to live in the present and look forward to the future. Which sums up everybody dealing with the pain of the past in this anime. Each moment leads to somebody changing in a massive or a little way, and Mitty is a big reason for this. She's such an important character to our main leads, to everybody, because it all starts with her, from the very moment she appears on screen. It set the whole wheel in motion that change is inevitable, especially with a child, because when you're unprepared for a child or any significant life moment, it hits you hard. You either take it on your chin and learn to the best of your ability, even if it's completely unknown. We must always change to improve our lives, to try and make things better at our absolute hardest. So remember, change is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it can be great for us, like the series was in representing the great side of change, allowing them to become better people, leaving the hellish assassin organization and being able to live happy lives with Mitty, a normal life. They went from an assassin with no happiness in their lives anymore to a super happy life with Mitty, and they get to live out their life with Mitty and also open a baking shop, which is pretty fucking cool. This show is fantastic and has a great message, so if you haven't watched it, hopefully this video gives you a reason to watch it. The whole theme of the show is change, and it is represented perfectly in this show, so hopefully you all enjoy on Crunchyroll today, or, you know. But hopefully everybody enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Good